Feel like your life is standing still? Feel like you ain't got enough umph in your motivation? Ain't got enough mashed in your taters? Let's discuss following the currents of life versus forming some new forms of travel to go the direction that you want to go. Why do we set goals? What is the point of setting goals? I've talked a lot about having a why in your life. You could set the goals you want, all the goals that you want, but there's not much point to them unless you have a why behind them. Why do you want to set these goals? How are you going to break them down? Why do you even want to pursue these goals? The secret to creating inspiring goals that we're pumped to work on, that we're motivated to work on, that we wake up in the morning and we're really excited to work on those goals, is to create an ultimate life vision, an ultimate purpose, an identity for ourselves, and then use that as the basis to set other goals for ourselves. So we set this ultimate life vision. We think about exactly what we want in life. We create a purpose behind it, the why we want those things in life, and then we create an identity for ourselves around that life vision. So we don't listen to what other people are telling you about how you identify yourself, because that's kind of how you get yourself stuck in these stupid ruts anyways. We need to decide exactly the identity that we want for ourselves. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down that vision, that purpose, that technology of peace in order to help you identify what you want in your life, how to create the ultimate vision for your life, how to move forward with that vision and, create the life that you want to create. Life has a funny way of piling expectations on us. You wake up as a baby one day, you go to school, maybe try out college or a trade school, you spend the better part of your life working, you retire, hopefully you get a few of your golden years, maybe traveling the country or doing what you want to do, then you die. Tough, right? Well, you can follow that course, boyo, or you can find a way to set a new course for yourself. How do boats fight those currents? With slap martial arts. Sometimes life gets mundane. We get caught in the same routine every day, even if that's a bad routine. And it can help to kind of step back and take a look at our life and the direction that you want it to go. So this is a way to do that. I think it's rather intuitive. It's kind of easy breezy, but you have to put a little bit of work ahead of time. Whoa, before you hit that unsub button, is it not worth doing a little bit of work up front to be happy, passionate, fulfilled, realized? So let's get started. Step 1, realize your ideal life. Every little tiny detail, from your hit points to your cosmetic items, from your party to your class. You need to think about what you want in your life, and that is the basis for all of your goals moving forward. If you could wave a wand and all of the stresses of life would melt away, what would be in their place? What would be your ideal life? What would you want in your life? Create an ultimate life vision. If you were on your deathbed 80 years from now, what would make you look at your grandchildren and go, that was fucking tight? If you don't have an ultimate plan for your life, now is a great time to come up with one. It's gotta be what you want in your life, and it's gotta be what you want in your life. Don't use someone else's life goals or someone else's plans for you unless it resonates with you. Don't limit yourself. Oh, I can't achieve this in the next few months. Oh, I can't afford to achieve this. Oh, I'll never get this off the ground. Do not limit yourself. If you are really passionate about this, if you really want to achieve it, you will find a way. And don't limit it to just the things that you can accomplish in the next few months either, because you can set up some longer life-term goals and then just come up with stepping stones on the way to that path. Right now though, I want you to focus on coming up with your ideal life. What does your ideal life look like? To help, I will share what my ideal life looks like. I feed my body the nutrients it needs to absolutely thrive, have unstoppable energy, and help me reach my potential peak and beyond. I have an expert chef and nutritionist in my life that is able to cultivate the food that I need to get the nutrients that I need, all while tasting absolutely amazing. I've pushed my body to its limits to see its potential peak, all while doing what I need to do to take care of it long term. I remain mindful of my emotions and my thinking patterns to avoid falling into toxic behaviors while remaining confident in who I am and what I believe in. I've curated the skills necessary to help me live life to the fullest and achieve all the goals that I want to achieve. I have powerful, communicative, amazing relationships with my friends and family. Enjoy their presence while assisting and encouraging them to reach their potential peak. Given that time is a limited resource, I use my time wisely, not wasting time on tasks that don't enrich or enhance my life and those around me in some way. I have several successful, thriving businesses in areas that interest me, that use existing best practices and push new best practices, all while taking very good care of the employees that have helped push the business to be successful. I've built a successful internet marketing business that allows me to learn the skills that I need to reach as far as I can with my businesses, to use my gifts, knowledge, and passion to make a difference in the world. I am financially free so that I can focus on what I want to do, afford the coaches, training, courses, books, and programs I need to in order to continuously grow and thrive, and to assist the people important to me in things like going to college. I have created a successful aquaponics business that will help me feed the world while using way less water and beautifying the environment, and testing some unique plant growing techniques. I've planted tons of trees to help cool environments off while helping to reduce carbon load on the world and help reverse climate change. I have an airsoft team that has the tools and coaching necessary to train hard, play hard, and have fun while showing off cool custom airsoft guns. I have the time and resources to do what interests me in my recharge time and downtime, such as immersive controllers and setups for games like PlanetSide 2 and Artemis. I have several successful game stores with amazing narrative-driven games and stories while being in an imaginative environment. I have a well-stocked, well-oiled workshop that allows my businesses and teams to go from idea to proof of concept or prototype in as short as time as possible. I have reached a perfect 10 out of 10 in all aspects of life. I have a beautiful home, a well-designed to my likes, desires, and that feels fantastic to go home to. I have opened a school that uses the best teaching, admin, and growing methods from the best schools and teachers around the world. And the teachers are well paid as they help to cultivate the next generation of leaders, thinkers, and creators. I can and will travel the world, experiencing other cultures, amazing foods, beautiful and breathtaking sights. I've made a mark somewhere in the world that has left it in a better state. I am happy with who I am, both for the work I've put in to create an amazing life and because I've worked to make the world a better place. I have an amazing sense of fashion, or at least an amazing wardrobe with perfectly tailored, well-cultivated outfits. My hair, beard, skin, and body are as close to perfect as I can get. I've experienced some amazing things, such as hiking the Appalachian Trail and doing a trip around the United States in my custom designed and built motorhome. I'm able to take a retreat to a private cabin whenever I need to in order to relax, take a step back, and think about my life and vision moving forward. I own the cars that I want to own, the ones that are fun to drive and beautiful. So that was just my example of my life vision. That was what my ideal life looks like. It has changed since the first time I wrote it, and yours will probably change since the first time you write yours. And that's okay. Mine will probably change in the future as well. If you discover, hey, this is a new passion of mine, this is really interesting, or maybe your values or your ideals change, that's okay. It's okay to change in the future. But you do have to realize now what you enjoy, what you want out of life, what your ideal life looks like. If there's no limits to what you could do, what would your perfect life look like? What would your ideal life look like? Sometimes you will see someone else's ideal life vision, or you'll see the language that they use for their life vision, and it might be incredibly inspiring to you. You can stick that life vision into your own life vision, or part of that vision into yours, and that's okay. It's okay to be inspired. It's okay to be motivated. It's okay to want new things out of life. It's okay to be motivated to attack and find those things. It's okay to change your life. It's okay to pursue things. I'm giving you permission in case you need it. If you don't have an ideal vision for yourself, if you don't have a plan for yourself, you're probably just drifting through life day to day and you're contributing to someone else's life goals. So now you have this ultimate life vision. This is something that you've sat down, you've thought about. What do you want in your life? What does your ideal life look like? Now you need to come up with a why behind it. These are the reasons that you want these things. So for example, my body being in such great shape, me feeding it the nutrition that it needs, will give me that unstoppable energy to attack whatever daily obstacles get thrown my way, to have the energy to work on my life passion, my life vision. That's why I want the proper food that I need to eat, the nutrition that I need to get to take care of my body and to take care of it long term, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get all of my life goals done in the next, few months. So I need to take care of my body long term. That's why I want to get the nutrition that I need to get to do so. So you'll come up with the why behind those reasons. This becomes your ultimate purpose. So it's the why behind all of your life vision. Here's my ultimate purpose. I believe that if we have the capacity for something, that we can make the world better, make our lives better, and to push our own limits, we should heavily consider pursuing it. The meaning of life is what we make of it, and the legacy that we leave behind will be felt for a long time after we're gone. So it seemed to be our moral and ethical duty to be the best person we can be. I'm the result of millions of years of evolution. I am the 1 in a billionth chance that I was born. I am the 1 in a trillionth chance that I even know what this earth is and its amazing beauty. So being the absolute best I can be, being able to push my limits to what I thought they were. And then when I reached them, I found out how easy it was and keep pushing past is absolutely what I strive for. I believe that by being the best that I can be, I set a positive example for others. I only have the one chance at this life. I don't get a second try. So when I'm at the end of my life, I want to look back and think, that was fucking tight. To be a living example of what being a snack in every aspect of life is like, to fulfill and even exceed my potential as a human, to leave behind a lasting legacy, and to leave this beautiful, exceptional world in a far better state than when I came into it. I believe that we should go through this world doing the things that we really enjoy, that ignite a certain passion with us, and that can help others out, even in the small ways. I don't know what the meaning of life is. Some people think we have a divine purpose when we're set on this world, even if we don't know what it is our whole life. Some people think life is meaningless and they follow a doomer mentality throughout life. Why even bother with my goals? What's in it for me? What am I going to get out of this? And other people think that the meaning of life is whatever you assign to it. That's why we have to have that why behind our life vision, why we have to have our ultimate life purpose, our ultimate purpose, so that we can have a why behind it. We can have that motivation to push forward with it. It's not enough just to know what exactly we want in life. There has to be a reason behind it. So for example, I mentioned an aquaponics business in my life vision. And the reason behind that is that I want to combine unique farming techniques in order to feed the world in a better fashion that uses less water, less resources. So doing things like combining the farm bot and the tree of 1,000 fruit and the mango trees out in India that grow 52 varieties of mangoes, and having all of these techniques combined with aquaponics systems to grow more food, a higher variety of food, better quality of food, all while using less water, seems like a really admirable goal to me, and I think it's something that can be done. It does require some experimentation. I will probably fail a lot on the way, but I think that's a noble goal to pursue. I did it, you guys! I finally solved World Hunger 5 ever! Now that we've created our ultimate vision and our ultimate purpose, we need to decide our ultimate identity. This is the identity that we want to take on. This is how we are putting ourselves forward. Our identity is decided by our actions, our behaviors. It is not decided by, hey, this is what I want to be, this is who I would like to be. It is decided by what you do. Every action that you take is a vote for the person that you are. So you need to keep that in mind. Other people do not decide your identity. They may tell you, or they may tell others about you, hey, this is a guy who does this and this and this. But if your actions are showing otherwise, their words don't matter at all. You need to decide what words get put in their mouth. You need to decide what your identity is. If I were to look up a picture of myself in the dictionary, what would the definition be underneath? What would the words be next to? This is my ideal identity. This is who I want to be identified as. So this is who I am identifying as. And my actions need to follow through with that. I am an amazing, loving friend, husband, father, entrepreneur, marketer, innovator, inventor, creator, teacher, coach, writer, speaker, visionary, and an example of what a human can do when they pursue their potential peak. I am a supreme, inspiring example of what is possible in life. I love the beauty in this world, so I walk the talk and do my part to preserve and enhance it. I love novel concepts, ideas, and possibilities, and love the idea of seeing all these come together to form something greater than sum of their parts. I share my ideas and humor passionately with others, and inspire and encourage others to become demigods of their own. I help to inspire a better world and higher standards. I am a creator of magic moments. I'm fun, outrageous, spontaneous, interesting, and a great entertainer. I'm confident, attractive, in great shape. I'm present and a great listener. I honor every commitment, I keep every promise, I achieve every goal. All right, so now you have this ultimate life vision. You have your ultimate purpose. You have this identity that you've created for yourself, which your actions will follow. Otherwise, that's just something that you say about yourself and not what your behavior is showing. So now you can break your life down into 6 categories. I choose these 6 categories. You can create more categories, you can create less categories, but just 6 broad categories for your life. So the categories, the goals that I set in my life, the categories that I break my life down into are my physical and fitness goals, my emotional goals, my relationship goals, my financial and business goals, my spiritual and contribution goals, and my lifestyle goals. And each one of these is just a broad category for what I want to create in my life. So physical and health related goals, that's stuff like the nutrition that I get, the food that I put in my body, how many times I work out, what my ideal body looks like, stuff like that. My emotional goals, my mental state, how happy am I being mindful of my actions and my thoughts, stuff like that. Relationship goals, you could break down the relationship goals into friends and family goals instead of just one category for all relationships, but that's just how I choose to categorize the stuff in my life, and however you want to do it is fine. Your financial and business goals, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Spiritual and contribution goals, so if you are trying to dedicate yourself more to your religion or to your God, however it is, if you're not religious, then you can just leave that out, fine. Your contribution goals, so that's stuff like community service, giving back to the community, doing stuff for people who maybe aren't in as good a position as you, and that can just be giving to charity. You can set that as your contribution goals, or you can just set no contribution goals. It's up to you. And then your lifestyle goals. Your lifestyle goals are the stuff that you really want to do in your life outside of all of those other categories. So that could be travel goals. That could be, for me, for example, it's the stuff that I want to do with my airsoft team. The stuff that I want to do in video games, or my hobbies like Warhammer and stuff like that. So whatever you want to bring into your life, maybe if you go hiking or camping or something like that, you play sports, those can be your lifestyle goals. So now we have our life broken down into those 6 broad categories. We create a life vision for each of those categories. The health and fitness, I want to be 10% body fat. I want to feed my body the food that it needs to have the nutrition that it needs to have unstoppable energy, so I can tackle the things that I want to tackle during the day. I'm not tired and dragged down, and I don't need 80 naps a day, and I don't need a bunch of caffeine to get me throughout the day. If I'm eating right, I tend to take less naps, or need less naps, and I tend to need less caffeine, and so I want to feed my body what it needs to be in that state. And there's no limits on what you could put in your life vision for each of these. There is nothing stopping you from putting whatever you want there. Things have to be a little realistic, but if there's a magical genie in front of you shaking his ass and say, hey, what you ass want? Do whatever you want in each of those. Set a lofty body fat percentage, set a lofty muscle goal for you, set a lofty financial goal for yourself, set a lofty lifestyle goal for yourself. Don't limit yourself on these. What is your ideal life in each of these categories? All right. Now, each of those 6 categories is broken down with our life vision for each of those categories. What does our perfect body look like? What are we feeding it? How much money are we making every single year? And what does our friends circle look like? What does our relationships with our family look like? That is your life vision for each of those categories. Now we're going to take each of those categories, we're going to create, again, an ultimate purpose for them. And again, this is the why behind your life vision for each of those categories. So for me, the health and fitness. Why do I want 10% body fat? Why do I want my abs showing? Why do I want big muscles? I want to look in the mirror and I want to say, I worked for that body. I feel confident in this body. This is something that I used a lot of discipline for, and I'm able to, be proud of that. And that discipline carries over into other facets of my life as well. So that same discipline that I use to say, okay, I don't want the sugary crap. I don't want to eat awful for me cereal every morning and ice cream every single night and a piece of cake every day. I want to put the good foods in my body, and I want to work out and stuff like that. All of that will carry over into other parts of my life. So, when I don't feel like working on this YouTube channel, or when I don't feel like contributing around the house and helping to keep it clean, and maybe this is a bad example with all the crap piled up, but this is the garage. It's a different story. If I don't feel like I want to do that stuff, then I still have the discipline to carry me through and do it anyway, because it needs to be done. It needs to be done for, our sake of mind, for our sanity, for, okay, now it feels nice to actually be in this house, to be in a nice clean house. So we have a purpose behind each of those categories' ultimate vision. The next thing to do is, again, to create an identity for yourself in each of those. Health and fitness, 10% body fat, big muscles. I look at those Greek statues with the low body fat percentage, absolute units of men, and that is an example of what the body can achieve. And that wasn't even pushing the limits of our physical prowess yet. Like, take those statues and compare to the freak beasts that we see today, the ones who aim to be bigger than the ocean and hotter than the beach. Those are, supreme examples of what we can achieve today. And maybe some of them are used illicit substances. I'd like to think that someone can achieve what Cali Muscle has without steroids, considering he has been in competitions before. That is not my goal. I want to be bigger than I am now. I want to have bigger muscles, and I want to look leaner. But that's something that I can work for. That's my ideal body. And that is the identity that I set for myself. My identity is, I put the foods in my mouth that I need to put for that body. My financial goals, if I say I make smart financial goals, then my actions need to follow that. That's the identity that I've set for myself. My relationships goals, I've created an amazing communicative relationship with my spouse. I need to actually put in the work for that in order for my actions to follow my identity, or my identity to follow my actions. If I'm not doing the work that I need to do for those relationships, then the identity that I set for myself doesn't match. And that it's just empty words at that point. So you need to put in the work. Let's skip this part. Let's go back to the identity part. My identity includes this YouTube channel, putting out information that people need to achieve their own peak, their own potential peak, to see what people are capable of, and to enable and encourage people to pursue the lives that make them happy and fulfilled, and to pursue the things that they're passionate about. I think that's a beautiful, lofty, noble goal, and I think that I have the wherewithal to do it, and to do it in an entertaining fashion, one that, maybe is a little more than inspired, but adds a few laughs along the way, because humor is important, laughing is important to me, and that's, one of my big values. Your actions, your goals, your beliefs, those follow your identity. If you say, ooh, I'm a shy person, I'm not very confident, your actions will probably follow that. But if you identify as someone who is confident and bold and, makes the right decisions, your actions will follow that. If you say, well, I'm not very healthy, I don't eat very healthy, I don't work out, versus if you tell yourself, I'm healthy every day, and then reinforce that identity for yourself, then you're going to be more likely to actually follow through on the actions that make you a healthy person. You will actually be more likely to follow through on eating right and working out and make sure you're not putting crap in your body because you tell yourself, I am healthy. So now you have all these set out. You have your ultimate life vision, your ideal life, what you want your life to look like exactly, your perfect ultimate life. All right, you have the purpose set out behind it. Why do you want this ultimate life? You've broken your life down into 6 categories and have your ultimate life vision for each of those categories. You have the ultimate purpose for each of those categories, and you have an identity for yourself. This identity that you've set for yourself, not that someone else has set for you, the one that you've set for yourself, and the actions that you're going to follow through on with that identity. So what can we do to actually reach that level? What can we actually do to reach our life goals, our ideal life? Well, we need to kind of work backwards. We know what the end result is. We know what we want in the end. We know what our perfect, ideal 10 out of 10 life looks like. So we need to work backwards, all right? Some of these goals are going to be a bit longer term. Some of these goals aren't achievable in the next year, and that's fine. What are the first steps that we can do to move towards those goals? For example, I've mentioned I want to open multiple businesses and have them all successful and thriving. Well, the chances of me doing that in the next year and having them all be successful and thriving is really, really small. If I'm lucky, and I'm talking like I can win the lottery multiple times lucky before this ever happens. But I can take the next year to 5 years, whatever, however long it takes to focus on one business, get that successful and thriving, put the systems in place that it needs so that I can step away from it sometimes and focus on some of those other businesses, get them up to successful and thriving and, again, being able to step away from it, not needing me all the time. But right now, in the next year, I need to focus on that one business and then I can move on to other businesses. If my goal is to get down to 10% body fat and have my abs showing, but I'm, kind of big. I've lived a really slothful lifestyle and eat a lot of ice cream and stuff like that, which is, something I used to do. I am guilty of getting the Omni Gulps from Circle K filled with Mountain Dew Voltage. And I sat on my ass and played computer games all day. It might not be possible in your first year, but you can still aim to take those first steps in your first year, to take the first steps towards that ideal life, towards your ideal whatever you want in each of those categories. Once we've identified those first steps, we can break it down into that a year-long goal, basically. So I have another video on setting goals, setting proper goals. Something like, I want to lose a lot of weight is not a very good goal. It's not very specific. How much weight do you want to lose? How do you plan to lose it? Is whatever weight that you want to lose actually achievable by you this year? And it needs to be boiled down a lot better. So I want to get down to 10% body fat by eating lean and clean meals and doing intermittent fasting 6 days of the week by December 31st, 2021. That is a really good goal. It is specific, it is measurable, it is attainable by me, it is relevant to me because that is, what do I want? That is part of my ultimate life vision, and it is timely. So it is by the end of the year, that's, my body fat percentage is going to be by around 10%. You've set each of these goals in each of these categories to move yourself towards your ideal life. And each of these goals can now be broken down into quarterly goals, into monthly goals, into weekly goals, and then even into daily goals. So what you're going to do is that at the end of each week, you're going to sit down for maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes and just ask yourself a few questions. Am I moving towards my annual goal? Am I moving towards my quarterly goal? Am I moving towards my monthly goal? Is there anything that I can do better from this last week? Is there anything that I did well and can continue, excuse me, and I can continue to implement even further? Is there anything that worked well in my life? Am I moving towards those goals? Did I create, a magical memorable moment with my spouse or my family? Did I, sit down and relax? Did I work out the 4 times that I needed to work out based on my annual goal? Or did I eat well and do my meal prep and do whatever it needs to take for that physical goal? Or did I, do certain actions in my business that would earn me that $200,000 a year or $400,000 a year? Whatever goals you set, are you taking the proper actions that week that will meet your monthly goal, that will meet your quarterly goal, your annual goal, and your eventual life vision goal? So you need to sit down and look at what you did in the past, what you did in this past week. And then we can come up with some actionable steps for the next week. What is your action plan for this next week? So I will work out 4 times a week by December 31st, 2021. Great. I have 4 workouts on my next week's schedule. I will create 50 videos that are high quality, creative, entertaining, and valuable by December 31st, 2021. Great. My entire next week is dedicated to creating a video from start to finish. The script, the research, the video shooting, post-production, uploading, and all the stuff that comes after it is going to be scheduled on my next week. I will wake up and do my morning ritual 5 days a week by December 31st, 2021. Great. I can piss off my spouse by waking up at 3:30 in the morning. So now you have all of these actions laid out, all of the actions that you're going to do for the next week. Schedule those actions out. And so you have your 4 workouts. Schedule when you're going to do those workouts. You have, the video you're going to create for your YouTube channel, or the blog post, or the podcast, or the song that you're going to create. Schedule when you're going to be working on that. Schedule some rest time, because rest is also important for yourself. Schedule the time that you're going to be spending with your family. Schedule the time that you're going to be sleeping. Write all that down. Now, you don't always have to have a rigid schedule. Sometimes you decide to take a week off. That doesn't have to be planned, that doesn't have to be scheduled, or you can just schedule your workouts for that, that 1 week off. That's fine. You don't always have to be rigid, and sometimes if you miss something, you could just scoot it back and work on it later that day. But as much as you can, you should try to be planning this out, because remember, all of this fits into your ultimate life vision. All of this fits into the life that you want to create for yourself. All of this fits into that perfect 10 out of 10 life. Finally, as part of this weekly check-in, realize that there's a difference between working in your life and working on your life, just like with a business. So sometimes you need to step back and look at things that maybe you can stop doing, or you can delegate to other people or other items. Maybe you can automate some things, stuff like that. And I'm not saying, hire a maid on, but hey, if you want to prove trickle-down economics right, go ahead, hire that maid. However, I am saying, maybe you can, instead of doing this, you can do this. Instead of doing this, you can do this. Or you can, trust that strange list of ingredients on the back of some prepackaged food. So now you've broken down your life. You have this ultimate life vision for yourself, your ultimate life. You have this ultimate life purpose for yourself. You have this identity for yourself. And you've broken it down, all of this, into all of these categories, these broad categories in life. So what your ideal life looks like in relation to your physical self, in relation to your emotional self, your relationships, your financial and business, your spiritual life, your lifestyle. You've broken down your life for all of this. So you've taken all of these and you've broken it out into an action plan, a year-long goal, and an action plan for the next week, and an action plan for the next days. So now it's time to start on it. All right. So every night before you go to bed, take 5 minutes and just review what you're going to be doing the next day. I have this little whiteboard right next to my computer that I take and I write down what I'm going to be doing the next day, including my morning ritual, any workouts if I'm doing a workout that day, and what I'm going to be doing other than my normal 9-to-5 work job. So if I have a video shoot planned, I will write that down. If I have post-production planned, I will write that down. If I'm going to be working on scripts, I will write that down. If I'm going to be working on chores around the house, I will write this down, whatever. I will also take the time during then to write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. Again, going to bed with a sense of gratitude will help you be happier, will help you focus on the good things in your life. So that's what I do with that whiteboard. And there's something here that when you write the things down that you need to do the next day, there's something here that kind of plays with your subconscious, like putty, like delicious, malleable putty that squeezes right through your fingers as the smooth becomes folded. All this tends to put you in the mood to actually focus and follow through with those tasks in the next day. So doing all this, you'll be building that fulfilled life that you want, that perfect life, that life that balances your work and your home, your relationships, the stuff that you want to pursue, and making sure that you are financially well off to be able to pursue those things that you want to pursue. And don't get me wrong, there are some times that you need to focus on one thing or another, like if you're putting a project out or you need to focus on, some big thing that might take priority over some of the other things, but you come back later and you'll look at your life and say, oh, I need to balance this out. I need to spend more time with my family, or I need to spend more time focused on my health so that, my ideal life is still coming at me like a freight train. Now you have all of this information laid out in the video that I've just done. Take some action on it. Actually, don't just shut down the video and say, oh, that was pretty good. Actually take action on it. Go to the blog post down below and read through it and sit down and take out a notebook and write down your life purpose, your life vision, the ultimate purpose behind that life vision. Write down your identity, break down your life into those categories and think about exactly what you want. And you can search for other people's life vision, see what they want. And if that's something that resonates with you, put it in your life vision, put it in your ideal life. Think about where you want to go in your life. Think about what things you want to work on. Think about the things that you want to realize. Think about the things that you want to bring into this world. Think about the things that you're passionate about. But don't just sit there and do nothing. You have to be a person of action, not a person of intention. Just start, okay? If you have followed through so far, if you have come up with a life plan from this video, let me know in the comments down below what it is. And if you haven't, let me know why you are not creating that life plan. Let me know what it is that's holding you back. Please subscribe, hit that button right there.